Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of The Mix,
where we have real talk
with real leaders
about real topics.
Today's guest is none other than someone who has been not only our National Beta Club sponsor and FBLA sponsor for here at Cordova High School, but also has been in the mission trip field for many, many years. Please join me in welcoming. So, Miss Nichols, it is a pleasure to have you on this podcast. First, to just kind of start us off, I wanted to ask you a little bit about your family. I know with the very first podcast that Cordova High School ever did, we had your husband, Grant Nichols.
Yes.
Could you tell us just a little bit about your family?
Well, first I want to say thank you guys for having me. I am so honored to be your first guest. This is kind of a full circle moment, and we'll get into that a little bit, why it is with you, Logan. But so my family, there's just three of us at my house. So my husband, Grant, was a teacher in the Walker County school system. He retired last year. He was the ag teacher at Oakman, and we have one son, Cooper, who is currently attending Wallace State, and he's getting his degree in horticulture.
Yeah, me and Jayden both have quite a lot of friends who go to Wallace, and they're some pretty cool people. So I've never met your son personally, but I'd say he's probably a pretty cool person, just knowing you and Mr. Nichols.
He's a pretty good. He's a better child than what we probably should have ever gotten. He's never caused us trouble. He's a great kid, and we're looking forward to what the Lord has in store for his life as he moves ahead.
Yeah. So we're just gonna jump kind of straight in.
Okay.
So we know that you do a lot of the stuff with Beta Club and FBLA. So do you want to kind of tell us like what got you into teaching, and then maybe get into like what got you in and wanting to do the Beta Club and FBLA stuff?
Sure. So I am actually, my bachelor's was not in teaching. My bachelor's degree is actually in business. Business is something I always wanted to do, and ironically, Grant would say, "You are not becoming a teacher because somebody in this family has got to make money." So I was like, okay, I'll go get my business degree. I got it a little later on in life. I was actually working as the bookkeeper at Curry, went back and got my business degree. And then I was like, well, what am I going to do with this? Unfortunately, people who work as support staff in the school, so like our receptionists, our bookkeepers, and those sorts of people, they don't get paid anything extra if they have a bachelor's degree, which is really sad, but it's not based on your degree. So I was like, well, I've got this 4-year degree. Now what am I going to do with it? I feel like I should pay myself back for getting it. So an opportunity opened up that I could actually transition into teaching business, and so I took that and had to take a lot of tests, some extra classes, but it was well worth it. My first teaching job was at Carbon Hill, and so with business comes the Career Technical Organization, which is you can choose in business to either go with FBLA or DECA. We did DECA here last year, and then we talked about it at the end of the year, and the students who really led DECA last year felt like FBLA, which stands for Future Business Leaders of America, offered them more opportunities. So we decided this year we would transition to FBLA. Beta was something that wasn't really on my radar until I interviewed with Mrs. Barrett and Mr. Harrison, and they said, we really want our Beta Club to get active again. And we know you like to do clubs and you're involved with clubs because it's something that I'm truly passionate about. And could you do it, and would you do it? And so I decided to take that on as well. We laugh at my house. If we're not busy, we don't even know what to do. So we stay busy all the time. I love it. I love Beta's motto, which is lead by serving others. If you are serving others and serving with others, then you're meeting that calling in your life. Yeah. I always want to be around a leader who's willing to get down in the trenches with us. I think we have that with our school administration, and I hope you guys see that with your teachers and then your peer leaders as well.
I know that both of us have joined Beta, and I say I remember, but it was like February, so that was 7 months ago, not even a full year, when we went to state, and I participated in Quiz Bowl, but now we didn't place, but of course, we did decide that I wanted to run for state office, and so and because also my mom was chaperoning at nationals, I got to go with y'all. Do you want to tell us just a little bit about like how state went and how we're looking for next year?
Yeah, so we had a little over 30 competitors and close to 40 competitions that we participated in, which I know you heard me say Jayden didn't get to go with us last year. We kind of
Unfortunately.
forced him into being in beta this year, but we went in with there's zero expectation. We have no idea what to expect with the competitions. We have no idea what to expect as far as outcomes, anything, the convention itself. So it was, let's just go and see how we do. And we had 5 students place in the top 3 in different categories. And I was ecstatic. Like, it was great, a great first experience. I hope it was for you guys as well.
It was incredible.
And then that led us to be able to go to nationals and compete. And then, of course, Fisher won top 10 there in French, which still blows my mind that
Because he learned
he
from
has learned from an
Duolingo.
app how to speak French. I mean,
Not
that's
Spawn.
not your normal, teenage boy thing that you would find, but what a great testament to his determination and his drive to be able to do
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I know you were talking just a little bit about DECA and FBLA, and if y'all don't know, our cameraman back there is actually our FBLA president this year, and he's pretty cool. So we're gonna give him some props where he's due. But last year we had a very small DECA group, didn't we? Only have like 4 go to state.
We did have a small group that went to state. Overall, we had a big group. I'm hoping that as we continue to grow in all of our CTSOs, which is FBLA, FFA, FCCLA, and then along with our clubs like Beta Club, once we see what's out there and available for you guys to be able to participate in, how you can serve, how you can grow as a person, a leader, all of those things, that going to convention will continue to grow as well. I've had several students who've asked me about going to FBLA convention this year, and that was one thing when I talked to Jeremy and Sarah specifically about this upcoming year, is FBLA offers many more competitive events than DECA did, and more that they were comfortable in participating in. So I'm hoping that this year we'll be able to take a large group at the end of April to Mobile to compete.
So do we want to talk a little bit about the service projects that we do in beta, because that will kind of lead into what we're talking about next, which I'm not going to spoil because it's really incredible what we're talking about next. So do we just want to talk about some of the beta club stuff, like when we go to Cast for Kids, when we go to the soup kitchen to help out, when we go to Giving Hope's what my church does. It's the one we do at Christmas.
Well, we went to the nursing home this last year, was one of the things that we did. And sometimes I lose track of all the things, because if somebody comes to me with a great idea and I think, oh, we could do that, or we could help in some sort of way, I go ahead and sign us up.
And then
Then we just kind of go from there, and I just pray that, I don't wind up with one thing to take. But, if that's how it is, that's how it is. But, so did you go to Cast for Kids last year?
I did.
So what did you think of Cast for Kids?
I loved it. I had it was me and a kid named Ethan. I'm not going to give his last name for confidentiality purposes, but me and Ethan got to work with like 3 kids. And so if y'all don't know what Cast for Kids is, it's this amazing organization that it didn't start up in Alabama, or did it start up in Tennessee?
I don't think it started in Alabama, but it has been in Alabama for the last somewhere 10 years or less. I know that Grant had some kids who went when they first started it in Alabama, because it used to be at Smith Lake, and they would put everybody in a boat and they would go. But now it's at the Walker County Lake, which makes it great for us because it's right here.
But what it does is they take kids with special needs and they allow them to fish. And because, if you have either a mental disorder or you're like in a wheelchair, you can't really like fish independently. Right. And so what we get to do as volunteers is we get to go and we get to either beta hook for them or cast it for them. And it's like each of our kids were on like the low end of catching like the actual fish. Like I think they each caught like 1 or 2. but man, the looks on their faces were priceless because they just like it was so there was so much joy there.
Absolutely.
And it's like, man, if they can get excited over this small stuff, man, like, well, it kind of makes you like look in on yourself, and you're like, well, it makes you be like more grateful.
Oh yeah, for sure. And that was really our first event that I think we went to as a beta club. And I asked everybody, have you been on a field trip? And they're like, no, not really. We went to WCCT, but that's kind of been it. And I was like, well, just wait. I promise I'll take you on some more field trips. And hopefully I fulfilled that for the students last year, and we'll do that as well this year. But it is such a rewarding experience when you see those kids, their eyes light up when they see their bobber go under, and they're so excited, and then they get awards at the end. Cast for Kids is a great organization, so that takes place at Walker County Lake this year, October the 17th. So I hope that we can go back, but if anybody watching wants to sponsor that, you can look at it, you can Google it and look it up, find out more information. If you have a special needs child who would like to fish, you can sign them up through Cast for Kids as well.
So our next one was the soup kitchen, which I didn't get to go to, but could you kind of detail a little bit of that?
So we've actually done 2 different organizations that help people in need in our Walker County area. So we went to Mission for Hope.
That's what I was thinking of
earlier. We helped get them prepared for Christmas events. So we packed some bags that they gave out to people when they come in and they shop for their children. They do toys, they get food, they get goodie bags, they get clothes, shoes, all of the things. Mission for Hope is a wonderful organization that services the people of Walker County. They're located kind of in the Dora area. Mm-hmm. So we went over and we helped there, but we also did Backyard Blessings, which I think a lot of people are familiar with because they service students within our school community. So they service Bankhead and Cordova Elementary and provide weekend snack bags for students. And we went over and we helped pack those bags. That's a lot of hard work because you are constantly walking around a table, picking up and making sure you have the right number of every element to go in that bag and then tying it up. And, both of those organizations run from volunteers. They have people who work there, but most of everything that they have is volunteer work. So if you're looking for a place to get plugged in to volunteer, those are both really good organizations that are right here in our backyard that you can get plugged into.
So we also went to the nursing home to not only carol but also read bingo cards. See, she's smiling. She knows where this is going. So do we want to talk a little bit about the caroling before we get to the bingo story?
Sure. So we did a collection of items to put. We were originally going to go with Christmas stockings, but Beta kids are so great that they were like, we have more than will fit in a stocking. So we had to go with gift bags. So we made up gift bags for all the residents, socks and toiletry items, games. We had adult coloring books, colored pencils, anything that you can think of. We had some Christmas decorations go into some of the bags, candy, and we took that down. We actually were very fortunate with both of our girls and boys basketball coaches last year because there was a game that night. So we all partnered together and went to the nursing home together, and I'm not really sure how many kids showed up, but it was a lot of us. Walked through the halls, and we sang Christmas carols for the residents. They really seemed to enjoy it.
So when we played bingo, me and a buddy of mine, I'm not naming him because he's going to be as embarrassed as I was when this happened, but
I don't think he gets embarrassed. Are you sure?
You're 100%, but I still don't want to name him just in case. But they asked me and my friend if we could call, and if you don't know, that's the people who, hold up the bingo cards. Got a pretty funny picture of him holding up a number, and but I won't share that one either. And if one of them got a bingo, we had a bag, and in this bag were either like fake dollars, and I can't remember. Did they have Trump's face on it, or was it?
I can't remember.
It was Elvis.
It may have been Elvis.
Yeah. They love Elvis up there, and I don't blame them. But and you would open the bag, and they would reach in there blindly and pull out $1. And if it was a real dollar, they got to keep it. If it was a fake dollar, you put it back. It was just like a little incentive, But like half the nursing home was up there playing bingo. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
But
they really enjoyed it. Several of the little ladies there would really like for you to come back and call bingo Logan.
Yeah.
We got a lot of commentary on Logan's legs because he had on shorts that day from the ladies.
I will be wearing
at the
full
nursing home.
pants next time. It was very funny though. I did have people for legitimately like 2-3 weeks afterward going like, Logan, is that your girl?
You could
It is
only
not.
wish.
I can no thank you. I'm happy where I'm at. But let's see, what else? Did we do any other service projects? Oh yeah, we went to the where the nursing home used to be, the senior citizen center where they have like the daycare.
Oh, yes. We went up and read. Inc. Head Start is just above the hill here, and we went and we read to the students, kind of hung out with them, and did some things with them as well. We also did a big canned food drive, us versus Dora last year. That was through DECA, to see who could bring in the most canned foods for our school communities, and of course we won by a landslide, might I add. We collected food. We have done things to show appreciation for our first responders in our area. Hope to do that next week with my classes again. I think that's very important that we acknowledge what they do for our community and how they serve us every day.
So talking about these service projects, do we want to go ahead and get into like the church stuff?
The church stuff?
Yes,
Yeah,
the
sure.
church stuff. I know that you went to our church for a little bit of desperation before kind of switching lanes, but it was wonderful to have y'all there while y'all were there, because like knowing you, like I didn't really ever talk to you when we were at desperation, but just knowing you now, I know that you were like exactly what our church tries to embody, like just the generosity and the heart that y'all have is really special, and then it's something that I want to strive for.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate those words very much. So we went to D.C. Goodness, that's been several years ago, so you were pretty young then when we were going there, and that was the first time I really got involved with missions and serving and doing all of those things.
My dad got to go on that.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's why I said it's a full circle moment, because I knew we were going to talk about missions. And my very first international mission trip, I can't remember if there was 13 or 14 of us, and y'all, there was 13 or 14, or there was 12 or 13 women and
then
Chris.
My dad, yeah.
And bless his heart. So we're in Uganda for like 2 weeks basically, and Chris looking out for all of these women. And I really think a lot of both of your parents, but spending that time with your dad and just seeing his demeanor and how much he enjoyed it it was a great time. We all had a really good time.
That one was to Uganda, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I remember we were messing with Dad because we had already had a cruise scheduled, but my dad had felt the calling to go on the mission trip, but me and Levi were too young, so Mom stayed back to help us. So we gave my dad's cruise spot to my grandma, and we went on a cruise while he was in Uganda, which was man, when we both got back, he was exhausted. We were exhausted. It was just I think we spent that entire weekend watching Disney movies.
Yeah, just trying to unwind.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go through a lot when you're on a mission trip, and it is a very wonderful experience if you allow the Lord to lead you. But at the end, you are physically, mentally, spiritually drained, and the travel. And that's what I tell people all the time. The travel to and from Uganda is definitely the worst part. So you're on a 8 or 9 hour flight over the Atlantic Ocean, and then wherever you stop there, then you're on another 7 to 9 hour flight into Uganda. So it's a lot of time that you are sitting with not much to do, a lot of horrible horrible movies to pick from on a plane, really bad food. So, but the travel's the worst part. But then once you get there and you see what God has in store for you, you kind of forget about all the travel pains. So,
Do you want to just kind of tell us some of the stories, whether that be of just funny stuff that happened during these mission trips, or like maybe some really powerful spiritual stuff that happened? Because, like, I don't know, I'm doing a little sidetrack here. Like, I went to like our crew camp, which is our student ministry. Crew's amazing. If you don't have a church, I very strongly encourage, come over, give Crew a try. Like, we're gonna try and make you feel as welcome as possible. But this kid, he had like shattered his ankle in like 4 different places, and
but it's great. Come, have a good time.
no, not at camp. This
Oh,
was
thank
before-
goodness! I was
this
like,
before
you're
camp.
not really selling this very
Yeah.
well.
He, but he came to camp and he had like shattered his ankle before, and he was like on crutches. Doctors said that there was no chance he was ever going to be able to put like major weight on it again. So like he'd never be able to run. He'd be able to like mildly walk, and that was going to be about it. And we just had a message that night, and it was like, it was on the song. I forgot what the name of the song is, but it's like, where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is power and revelation. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is healing. And so we had that message, and we went into what we call community groups, which is where we take our teams. We have 4 teams. That year it was red, blue, green, and yellow. And we'd split the teams, boys and girls, and then we'd all go into different places. Guys, I remember us being in a Gaga Ball pit. If you've never played Gaga Ball, try it. It's fun and violent.
And at every camp I've ever been to, I don't think you can have a camp and you don't have Gaga Ball.
For real. But so we're sitting, and he's got one knee kind of like close to himself. It's not the bad one. It's not the bad leg. He's got the bad ankle kind of like stretched out towards the middle. And we just start talking, and he's like, it's like we'd all been kind of crying that night, but he was really like struggling. I don't know with what. I didn't ask him about it, but he was like, they were like, does anybody have any prayer requests? And kid raised his hand. He was like, can y'all just pray for healing? And he said late, like whenever we were going back, that he wasn't praying for any physical healing. He was praying for more of a mental healing. But our main guy leader was like, all right, everyone, we're gonna lay hands on the leg. And so we all laid hands. We prayed. My hands were shaking, like, because like it's such a vivid memory. And we prayed over his ankle. The kid stood up, ran around the camp, came
Awesome.
back.
That's amazing.
And it was insane. And he was like he went, because we had like our little group chat. And so we get back from camp, and about 2-3 days later, we get a text that says, the doctor says I'm impossible. And dude, it was so insane. It was. So if we want to just talk a little bit about like God stories kind of like that in the mission trips.
Yeah, absolutely. So for those who don't know, I actually just came back to school Tuesday from a mission trip in Brazil. So my 2 countries that I have gone to in international missions are Uganda and Brazil. And Brazil, this is the first year that I've been there, and I'll explain how I got there a little bit in just a second. But so Uganda, like I said earlier, I had gone back to school later in life, and I was at a Methodist college taking classes, and we had a final assignment from one of our teachers in one of my religion classes, and it was like, so where do we go from here? Write a paper about where you're going from here. I was like, I don't know where I'm going from here. So I prayed about it and asked the Lord, like, show me where I am going from here. And so he just kind of revealed to me that it was time to take a big mission trip, to just put it all on the line and just put all my faith in him and take a big mission trip. Well, at that point in time, I had never left the country. And by never left the country, I mean not a cruise, hadn't been to, like Cancun like some people go, nothing outside the United States. So I was like, Lord, I'm really not sure about this, but I was like, well, maybe I'll start in the U.S. And I talked to Grant about it, and I said, I kind of feel like the Lord's leading me to go on an international trip. There's one with the church to Uganda, and he was like, well, I haven't received word from the Lord yet that that's where you're supposed to go. And I was like, well, we're going to have to pray about it. So no mission trips within the U.S. opened. Like, they kept not opening, which was very odd for the church at the time because they had been going to L.A. and D.C. and all of these other places that have, different dream centers. None of them opened. And so I kept talking to him. He went and talked to the husband of the lady who was leading the trip. And he came back and he said, if you really want to go, go. I see that nothing else is open. And I'm like, well, I kind of was going anyway because the Lord told me I was going to go, whether he told you that or not, y'all were going to have to work that out. But so we leave, and like I said, your poor dad and all of these women, we leave on our trip, and...
Sorry, that's our bell.
It's okay. So we were there for a couple weeks, but I remember that very first night, you stay in a guest home, and there's bunk beds that you sleep in. And I remember laying there on that top bunk and not being able to go to sleep. And I'm like, God, I'm pretty sure you made a mistake. Like, you have taken this girl from Walker County who's never been out of the country. If I've forgotten something, there's no Walmart runs. There's no mall runs. If I decide I want to go home, I can't call Grant to come and get me. I sure can't call Grant and tell him that I'm having all of these doubts after I've convinced him that the Lord told me to go. But once I let all of that go and just let the Lord lead me in that trip, there were hiccups. I know we have talked about faith. All three of us have. And our faith in the Lord.
Got
and
some deep existential conversations.
Yes, absolutely. And, the enemy's going to attack you when you're on a mission trip for sure, because he does not want you to fulfill what you're there to do. Of course, you are going to, it doesn't matter how great and wonderful the people are and how committed they are to it, you're going to see attacks. So, of course, there were those attacks that happened. I remember somebody asked me, are you going to come back here ever, do you think? Like the second to the last day. And I was like, yeah, I don't see me coming back here ever. Even though I'd had a wonderful time. We had a great time. We served the people there. We went inside the schools. We got to serve those children, do a variety of different things. But I was like, I don't think I'm coming back. So we get home, a couple of weeks pass, and I look at Grant, and I'm like, I'm going back. I'm going back next summer. So I have been to Uganda about 6 times now. We didn't get to go, of course, COVID year. Yeah. But you see a lot of things, and I wish, if it wasn't such an expensive field trip, I would just take all of y'all with me, because I feel like everybody should experience it once. It gives you such an appreciation for everything that we have here. So I walk in my room and I've given out pencils and I see them all broken and thrown in the garbage, and I know that the students in the schools that I go into are using pencils that are literally nothing but the eraser, that metal part, and lead, and they're proud to have that. They're excited to go to school every day. They'll walk to school hours every single day. So it just gives you a bigger appreciation for that. And then Brazil was a little, I wouldn't say an easier, it was a more comfortable, I think was the best way to describe it, mission trip to go there. It's not quite, Brazil is a pretty wealthy nation. We did go into an area where we built a chapel while we were gone that didn't have money. But overall, it's a more wealthy nation, so they're able to take care of their own a little bit better. So, so I've been with groups of 14, 15 people, and I've been with groups of 2. As a matter of fact, Grant, who originally didn't want me to go to Uganda, in, 2022, I was like, nobody's signing up for the trip. Like, you're going to have to go if nobody else goes.
There is probably my favorite, one of my favorite pictures of Grant on your wall, and he's holding like a little Ugandan child with just the biggest smile on his face. Like, it's incredible to see that kind of stuff, because when I see that, I'm like, I know how my dad is with babies. Like, that's where I get it from, because like we both serve in the nursery.
Yeah.
And like the old ladies in the nursery call me the baby whisperer. They're not old. Love you, Miss Sheila. But
He didn't really mean that.
but they call and like I can just imagine my dad like that, because I've seen the pictures of how he held me and my little brother, and I've seen the pictures of him with like the babies at church, and like that's just what I imagine, because it's so funny. Because if you know my dad, if you know my dad, you know he's a teddy bear. But if you don't know my dad, he looks like Kratos. He's like,
He is kind of intimidating.
yeah. So if you don't know him, the first words you expect out of his mouth are "boy." But he's really like, he's a teddy bear, and he'll watch this and he'll know that I said this, but he agrees. So it's nice, because like I feel like that's a big connection type thing.
It is, and when you have a heart for something and your spouse gets to be involved in that and they see why you love it so much, it helps them appreciate it more. So when he got to go the first time, of course, he was like me. He came back, he was like, yeah, I probably won't ever do that again. So then last year when Cooper graduated, we all three went together because Cooper had been asking to go. But talking about, Grant with the babies, that's probably the most heartbreaking experience I had. We went to when he and I went, we went to a slum. So within this stage area, I'm going to say probably 10 or 12 people were living in just a one-bedroom, just a shack. 10 or 12 homes, but there might be 3 or 4 people living in each one. No running water, no power, the worst of the worst conditions. And we're taking people there some food so they can have food. And they have something called posho. And I've never eaten a glue stick before. I don't know if either one of y'all have. No. But it's what I imagine a glue stick probably tastes like, and the same consistency. So they eat that instead of rice because it's less expensive. But Grant's carrying like a big bag of this up on his shoulder as we walk through the slums to take it to a lady. And he's in the back of the line. We're having to walk single file through. And a lady taps him on the back. And, of course, he doesn't speak Ugandan, but he turns around and she's saying something to him, and he's telling her, I don't speak your language. She's holding a small baby, like very young. And she taps the bag of posho on his shoulder, and then she holds out her baby. So he's like, wait, everybody wait, like stopping everybody ahead of us. And he's like, come back. I think this lady is literally trying to barter her baby for this posho. And surely enough, she was. She had other children and family at home, and they were starving. And she was willing and wanting to give us her baby for food. Of course, we told her, no, we'll bring you back some food. This one's going somewhere else, but we'll get you some food. But those are the kinds of situations that you see there. So it's very hard to see, but it's also very rewarding when you see what the Lord has blessed us with, so that we can in turn give to others and serve others. But there are those hard moments, but then there are some really happy times. So when Cooper got to go with us last year, I like to go out into the community and take food, but also a Bible to people. Mm-hmm. And we went to an older lady's house. I'm not going to call her an old lady, but an older lady.
I'm so sorry.
We went to her house, and we had a big basket of food, but then we had this Bible, and Cooper was like, can I give her the Bible? And I said, sure, yeah. And I don't know how much food she had at her home, probably not much, but she had never had a Bible in her language before that she could read. And when he presented that Bible to her, she literally sang, danced, clapped her hands. She sang all over that yard. And by the time we had prayed and we got back on the bus to leave, or in the van to leave, she was already sitting on her side porch with her grandson reading that Bible to him. So you get to see those great, joyous events that only God can provide. But you do see a lot of heartbreak. It is very eye-opening when you go. But last week we went to the market and just to get some little, touristy things from the market. We're buying all of these keychains that say Jesus on it. And the lady said, asked in Portuguese to our translator, she said, "Are they missionaries?" And she told her yes. And so that just, to me, that just opened the door wide up. I was like, "Do you know Jesus?" And she was like, "Yeah, I know Jesus, but I've never accepted Jesus." And I was like, "What are you waiting for?" So right there in the middle of that market, we witnessed to her. She accepted Jesus. We took her a Bible back the next day. So if you just go, God's going to open those doors for you. But what a lot of people get hung up on is money. Yeah, it costs money to go on these trips. The flights are pretty expensive. But God never once looks at my checking account and says, "Oh, you've got extra money this month," because I never have extra money. It's usually when I have no money that God's like, "Okay, this is when you're going and where you're going." And I'll provide the money, because it takes that leap of faith in God to be able to go, because two teachers should never have been able to afford the mission trips that I have been on and the things that I've been able to do. And then last year when all three of us went together, looking at our finances, if you looked at our income taxes, you would say, "No, you're never being able to all three of you go to Uganda." But the Lord not only provided for us to go, but he provided extra money for us to be able to carry out the mission of providing those Bibles, providing food, providing things for schools. Mosquito nets, if you're not familiar with African countries, you have to sleep under a mosquito net. So we were able to provide those. We were able to take some children out to eat in restaurants that don't normally get to go. So there's a lot of things that go on, and he provides all of that. I can't take any of the credit and wouldn't want to. It's all God that makes that happen.
I just find it beautiful how it's just, all I'm hearing from you is like love and compassion and faith. And it's just.
Thank you. Yeah,
It makes me like, I want to go on a mission trip, just not like to go see like a country, just to go help people.
Yeah. And that's the
bring them to
thing
a
that a
church.
lot of people lose sight of too, is your mission field's everywhere. So if you are a believer, like your mission field is Cordova High School, and you can serve in all of these capacities. You can do these service projects that we do through FBLA and Beta and all of the things. And while our government restricts me a little bit on what I can say about the Lord, when not approached by students who are going to ask me questions and open that door for me, you guys are not restricted about it. So you can proclaim the name of Jesus anywhere you go within this school. But you can be here at the school, you can be within your church, anywhere you want to go.
Especially if you're an asset to Cordova High School.
Okay.
Yes. As Mr. Harrison has so labeled you. We love you, Jayden, and we are very thankful that you are here with us and that you came back to us after that few weeks last year. We're glad to have you back at Cordova.
So I do know that us here in America have a lot of great foods like Chick-fil-A.
Thank you, Jesus. And great workers at Chick-fil-A, I might add.
I know.
Yeah, me and our cameraman both work at Chick-fil-A. It's we work in the back. We'll make your chicken. Jasper Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
But
And if it's not good, they didn't make it. Somebody else did.
You're right. You are 100% correct, Miss Nichols. We have the Chick-fil-A. We have steakhouses. We have, and I'm not saying that other countries don't have this as well, but they're not near as common. We are, as America, I think we are like the third wealthiest country in the world. So when you go to these other countries, I know that they don't have, like you were saying, the ponchu?
Posho.
Posho.
Posho, yes.
So, like, are there any other, like, odd foods that you have tried or have witnessed other people try from these countries for your mission trips?
So last week, have y'all ever eaten at Texas de Brazil?
Mhm.
What about you guys? No? Okay.
pretty good.
So while we were in Brazil, so that's like their traditional barbecue. And so I've never seen so much food in my life because they'll bring these like, ribs for days, and they'll just slice the meat off right there onto your plate, and you'll be like, no, I don't want any more, and they're still like, yes, do you want more? No, I don't want any more.
They'll have to ban me.
They'd have to ban you.
That's what a lot of the guys that were with us last week kind of thought until they were like, I'm miserable, I cannot eat anymore. But that was definitely a neat experience. So when we've taken those girls out to eat, these teeny tiny little girls, they might be like 8, and weigh about 60, 70 pounds, they'll order fish. And now when I say they order fish, I'm talking about, yes, don't say 6, 7. Dear Lord, I shouldn't say that. Anyway, they'll order the fish, and it's the whole fish.
Like head and all?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no,
like-
that's scary.
Like eyeball.
Like, you just...
And all.
Okay, so I've got a funny... This was not on the mission trip, but this ironically was on the cruise that we went on while Dad was... Or, no. This was 22. This was the Carnival Mardi Gras. And if you go on the Carnival Mardi Gras, I fully recommend the hibachi place. But whenever they cook shrimp, they don't cook shrimp like sticks where it's just where it's like just the meat of the shrimp. They cook the whole thing, like head and all, tail, legs.
Yeah. Oh, the people in Brazil were eating
And
the bull shrimp. They ate the whole thing.
Well, yeah.
I was
yeah.
like, no,
Well,
I'm gonna peel that.
I was like, hey, is this like fully edible? And the guy was like, yeah, it sure is. And so me being the joker that I am, looked to my cousin Ethan and I said, this was not the kid that I did Cast for Kids with. This is my cousin. He's in Tennessee. But I looked at him and I went, hey, yo, watch this. Right the head off. And then if you didn't know, the eyeball is, it's filled with a juice. And I tried to keep my demeanor, but I almost, I started, coughing. It was bad. And so me and my cousins are sitting there dying laughing because I'm dying.
Well, the fish, the eyeball is the delicacy. They're like, you have to get it and you have to eat the eyeball because that's the best part. And I'm like, show me where the chicken fingers are on the menu because that's what I need. I'm not eating that. But yeah, there's some other, another time I went, we were going to have this big party at the school and they were going to have beef, and I was there a couple of days before this big party that we had planned for, and the principal of the school is taking me around. She's like, oh, make sure you get pictures of this. Make sure you get a picture of that cow. And I'm like, okay, why that one random cow? She's like, oh, that's the one you paid for that we're going to eat at the party in 2 days. And I was like, okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Bessie, all right.
So sorry. And then last year, I ate another of their snack delicacies, which is fried grasshoppers. I did try them.
Are they good?
It really wasn't for me.
Sounds
High
like an
protein.
acquired taste.
Yeah, I suppose. But they get these little small envelopes, and they'll dump it out, and it's just fried grasshoppers. And so my friend Renee and I tried them, but yeah,
I figure
it's
they
not
might be better
exactly
hot.
something.
Maybe with some
Maybe, but
seasoning.
yeah, they just weren't for me. But yeah, those are some of my experiences. There are plenty of others, but those are some of my experiences with food.
All right, so I think that segues us well into our game. So if you didn't know, on the Mix, here me and Jayden have what we call drafts, where we will take a topic that correlates to what we're talking about, and we will go down. We'll have a draft. Me and Jayden have 5, and our guest will have 5. So this week, our draft is odd foods that you could eat on a mission trip that are commonly eaten on a mission trip. So if Miss Nichols, if you would like to start us off, these all have descriptions of where they're from and what you do. So you try to pick, like, I think we're going to go for, like, the nastiest draft.
Okay, so we
wins.
want to have the grossest
You want to have
things.
the grossest.
That's what I thought.
And
Okay.
we're going to have y'all, like, comment who won the draft, whether it be me and Jayden or our guest. So.
Okay, so from the list you gave me, my first pick is number 3, cuy
From Peru.
from Peru and Ecuador. Would you like for me to read the description?
You can, or if you feel uncomfortable, I
Well,
can read it.
maybe I can make it through without gagging, but that is guinea pig. Traditionally roasted or fried and served whole, head, teeth, and all. If I don't win off of just that, I don't even know what to say.
I don't know. I think 7 might be our pick.
7 was, mine was kind of a close race, but when
So-
they had me at teeth on the guinea
Yeah.
pig.
So Casu Marzu, which is Sardinia, Italy, which I have always said that I want to go to Italy for the food. Not this.
Yeah, probably not.
This is not what I mean. Because it is a traditional sheep milk cheese. So that's like, instead of like cow cheese, this is sheep.
But it gets better.
Infested. Maddie, you might want to close your ears. This is really nasty. With live insect larvae. It's banned in some places. Banned.
It just made me think like if you just get a pizza from Italy, well, is there like a chance that I'm just gonna get?
No, because this says
Hopefully
it's
not.
encountered in rural areas. So if you go into
Okay.
like a city like Venezia or Naples, you're going to have normal food. Jeremy.
That doesn't sound that bad. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring you a live insect larva, and we'll see how you like it, buddy.
It's not too pretty.
Okay, so my next pick. Oh, I taught a student at Carbon Hill who was from the Philippines. She became like our daughter. Loved that kid. So she'd be happy to know that my next pick is number 1 from the Philippines, balut, I'm assuming is how you pronounce that. And that is a fertilized duck egg, but wait, with a partially developed embryo inside, often boiled and eaten from the shell.
So do you think that's like from escargot? Like you just take the shell and you kind of... That'd be so nasty.
Oh,
At least yes, at least
It
you're not
has
eating
a
it raw.
partially formed duckling inside. Who cares how it's prepared? What do you mean at least it's boiled?
Hey, I don't know. We're going for gross factor, and I'm trying to help you out.
Okay, I gotta make sure I'm marking off the ones we've picked.
All right, I think we're going to go with stink bugs from South Africa and parts of Asia. And you might think, oh, it's just like any other insect. No, it says edible insects eaten fried or boiled. So you cook these with a pungent taste. You know what that is? That's nasty. Considered a delicacy in some regions. I don't even consider Chick-fil-A a delicacy. And I get that I work there, but I can imagine it tastes a whole lot better than stink bugs.
you know, it's an acquired taste. Sometimes you just gotta eat
Have
it
you
a
ever
few
eaten
times.
a
like
stink
black
bug
coffee.
before?
So,
Oh
like-
no.
Okay,
So, like-
just checking.
So like you don't like black coffee. So
No,
do you
I
think you'd
don't.
like the stink bugs?
Absolutely not. But I feel like if you like eat it over time, it might like.
No.
I was about to say somebody had to like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more than one somebody, but probably not me.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
I am struggling between 2 and 8, but I think I'm going to go with 2. I'm assuming that says fufu, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
So fufu with goat brain sauce. This is a food from West Africa. Fufu is a starchy dough-like food served with a sauce made from goat brains and other rich organ meats.
So your other rich organs are heart, lungs, liver, I think intestines. I'm not 100% sure. So that's all in there.
But they make
That's
it look
nice.
so good
Maybe they
online.
throw it in. Maybe they throw it in a little blender and they just hit the button. You know.
A hot pocket? Oh, I thought you said it's like a Hot Pocket because it has a starchy dough.
It's like a starchy
food.
dough, and you just fold it over the sauce, and you're like, that's nice.
Oh, that's my goat brain in there. Here you go.
Oh yeah, this is
Threw in a few intestines for
This
you.
is Billy. He loved to read. He was a goat, so I think he just stared and ate the pages. But he loved to read, so hopefully this will give you some insight.
Cheers.
Like a Billy goat. Yeah. I'm allergic.
Yeah, I don't think my doctor said I can have that.
You can choose. If you want, Jayden, you can choose the next two.
Next two.
So the ones that we have left are
5, 6, 8, 9, and 10.
Let's try the back. Yeah, I'll go with none.
Say that one.
Blood
we don't want to
soup.
get canceled.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to read that?
No. You
Okay.
Got it.
So this is from various countries. It's made from coagulated animal blood mixed with rice and grains, e.g. Dinuguan in the Philippines or
probably
Morcilla in
butchered
Latin
that,
America. I can't say much about this one. Like, you know when you get a scab
Oh,
and then it
God.
dries?
Logan.
It's basically that.
Let's just,
I'm not saying like eat your scabs. I'm
Thank
saying
you,
this is
thank
nasty.
you.
This is
Just let's
nasty.
don't do that for sure.
And it's mixed with rice and grain. Like, I can't imagine that being good. Like, I put soy sauce on my rice. I don't know.
I will tell you one time when we were in Uganda, I always take Slim Jims just in case, you know, the meat's questionable about, you know, do we have meat at a meal or not? And I got one out of my bag one time when Grant was with me, and he was like, "I'll give you $50 right now for that Slim Jim." I was like, "It is
You're
yours."
like we share a bank account, but okay.
Yes, but yeah, it gets that way sometimes. So I think my next pick is going to be number 8, which is the fried tarantulas from Cambodia. Crunchy on the outside, gooey on the inside. These spiders are deep fried whole and sold as street snacks.
So you ever like watch a bad like Bollywood movie? Like, what am I saying? Bad? They're all bad. But some of them are like affably bad. But like a Bollywood movie, you know, the ones with the really corny action, and the random dance scene right in the middle of the movie. Yeah, so those whenever you got the vendors in the street and they're kind of like pushing their food in their face. See, that's like even if you stuck it like, even if I like yawned and you tried to force it into my mouth, I would like, because
I
like
would throw up
what
on
I'm
your
imagining is I'm imagining
throw
a
up.
shish kebab.
Yeah. Well, you know, in Uganda, they do that where people come to your window and like try to get you to buy that really happens. So they have like chicken on a stick, goat on a stick,
I
all
need
of these,
chicken on a
and
stick.
they're like, it looks like, so you know when you go to Disney and the guy has all the balloons.
Yeah.
So it looks very much like that, except they're shish kebab sticks, and they're like if you stop for 1 second, they're running to your window, and they're all competing. You know, they're all vendors competing against each other. So you have like 20 people surrounding your car. And they all have these things to choose from. If 20 people surrounded my car with fried tarantulas, I'm out.
I'm leaving.
I'm gone.
Yeah.
I'm too indecisive.
Yeah.
Ugh.
No.
No.
All right, so I guess we have 3 picks remaining. So
Which one
I
are you at?
think
5, 6, and 10.
so
10.
no, because I've had this and it's actually really good.
Snake and crocodile meat?
It's delicious.
I'll take your word
It's like
for it.
Bayou stuff. It's great. So if we want, I think we're gonna take a Carl. And no, this is not a guy named Carl. It is fermented shark meat with a strong ammonia smell and acquired taste, often offered to guests as a sign of hospitality. That's from Iceland. So can you imagine, you know, here in America, we have, you know, like we got the housewarming parties where you bring some lasagna, you bring some
Chips.
you bring some sliders.
You have a casserole.
You bring a casserole.
Bring a casserole.
A pie.
A pie. No, imagine walking into your new house or walking into someone else's house and they're like, "Hey, yo, can I get you some shark? For some fermented shark?"
Please
Not like,
leave.
hey, can I get you a water? I'm walking out the door. I'm leaving. Bye, Felicia.
I've been in schools where they dissected sharks before, and I tell
It's a
you,
nasty
there is
smell.
no other horrible smell quite like that. And it lingers for days when they do it. Yeah.
So, what would you ammonia smell is like like cleaning supplies, right? Is like that's what that is, right?
Kind of, but then when you mix all that other and
Yeah, when you
it's
get
just
ammonia
it's
with
a-
like the
It's a
metallic
strong-
blood smell.
I don't know how to.
bad. It's bad. Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna choose number 6. Do we think that's pronounced durian?
Yes,
Okay.
it's durian. I've had it before.
Is the smell really as bad as this says?
it's-
Because this
oh
says
my
it's from
gosh.
Southeast Asia and it's known as the king of fruits. I love fruits, but this does not sound good. It has a strong odor that many people find repulsive, but it's beloved in places like Malaysia, Thailand, and Indonesia.
So when we bought this, I was in Tennessee and I went with my cousins, or I went with Ethan, the aforementioned cousin, and my aunt Jen, and Ethan was like, "Hey, yo, I'm gonna buy a durian," and I was like, "What the
What
heck
is
is a
that?"
durian?" And he was like, "It's this big fruit right here. It's also called a jackfruit." And he was like, "Put your hand on it," and I put my hand on it, and it was so like if you've ever seen a picture that it's like spiky. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't think they're that sharp. I actually drew blood. And so we check out. The people at the register give us nose plugs for free.
I was wondering, like,
For free. And me and Ethan, being the idiot teenage boys that we are, no offense, Ethan, love you, buddy. We're like, oh, we're going to absolutely do this without any nose protection. We cracked it open. Both of us immediately throw up, or both of us almost immediately throw up. We were gagging. It was bad. And so after we go and get like the little the clips that people use to keep bags of chips closed, and
Yeah.
we then were like, okay, we're gonna try this. So we cut it open, and it looks like pineapple. And so we cut it open, get like cubes, and so we both take a bite. We're like, oh, it tastes like pineapple because it did at first,
And
and
then it
then you
didn't.
get like a garlicky, oniony
Ew.
taste.
oh no.
Oh, well, I
in
was
the
thinking when
after.
I read that, like, what do these people's breath smell like after they've
Oh
eaten
my
that?
gosh, we brushed our teeth at least 3 times after eating it. But yeah, it is nasty. I'm sure if you got over the aftertaste, it'd be perfectly fine. I just don't see the appeal.
Yeah, which
So-
leaves you guys with 10. And
So we have 10, which I actually really enjoy. If you've ever been to New Orleans, it's a delicacy over there. Snake or crocodile meat. You ever eat gator nuggets? Yeah. Which it's alligators and crocodiles are different, but the meat tastes the same. But don't look at me like that.
you've
but
never had it, Jayden?
Number 10
I never
is
will.
snake or crocodile meat in Asia, Africa, and Australia. Often served grilled, in stews, or even dried like jerky. Said to taste like chicken, but with a fishy texture. It is exactly as it says.
Yes.
I've had
That's where it
grilled
just
and
didn't-
fried
Didn't catch my eye.
gator / crocodile, but fried is easily the best way because it just tastes like a chicken nugget. And it's pretty solid. It's pretty high in protein as well, if you can't tell me.
So if anybody out there, has some snake or crocodile or gator that they're fixing anytime soon, bring some by the school. We can let Jayden taste it.
Yeah,
If-
happy.
I think it would be great for you to taste
because why would you want, okay, chicken has a distinct taste and
Yeah.
fish has a distinct taste.
No, it's got a fishy texture.
Texture, okay.
Yeah.
Still didn't make it any better. But no, I'm okay.
Happy Gilmore 2 just came out. You ever find that crocodile that killed Chubbs, let me know. Okay. We are being told to wrap it up.
Unfortunately.
So, we're gonna end the podcast right about here. Expect pretty much all episodes to be about this long. Miss Nichols, it was a wonder having you on this podcast, and it was a wonder having you as our first guest.
Thank you
It
guys. I
was.
really appreciate it.
And y'all remember to comment who won the draft. Miss Nichols' picks were balut, fufu, kui, fried tarantulas, and durian.
Yes.
Our picks were stink bugs, hakarl, katsumatsu, blood soup, and snake/crocodile meat. All right. Everybody, this was The Mix. I'm Logan, and that's
That's
Jayden.
Jayden.
Y'all have a good time.
The camera's